I want to tell the story about the very first time I met Sloan Bella, which was one of the best days of my life, obviously. So this is a day, I want to say November, it was 2012 then. No, it was December. It was either right at the end of 2011 or the beginning of 2012, because I remember being like, it's like January or December. Maybe it was February, but I remember being like, and especially, well, she says this, and this was 10 years ago. So this was in the Valley, somewhere in the San Fernando Valley. So, my sister, who some of you might know who she is, she's like a wannabe celebrity person with blue hair, and she has my last name. But so she was like on the Jay Leno show and got I guess Jay Leno used to give, like, you would go on his show and like a little gift bag you would get would be like one would be a session with Sloan. And I know that she was on his show all the time, and this was like in 2000. If you Googled Sloan Bella in 2000, probably way before 2012, because by the time I met her, she was like, regular Jay Leno celebrity psychic. I want to post this video. If you guys look for a video that she made, that Sloan made, she's so cute, and it's like I don't want to say the word reel. It's not a reel. It's like a demo. It's got a slice of her on a show. It's like she's got longer hair, and Keith and Jason are like really young. And there's pictures of her. There's a line. She's in the refrigerator. She's like, I'm sorry, she's not in the refrigerator. She's in the grocery store, and she's picking up stuff and putting it in the car. She's like, stop drinking right now, or I'm coming over there. But so this is like her working as a psychic. I think she's pregnant maybe in one of the shots. It's not a reel. I want to say demo. It was like Sloan Bella Psychic Medium, but it's either in her stuff. But if you look up her name, she was doing stuff everywhere. Like she was on Montel, she was on, and that just shows that she was on. And the way the city works, like this machine works, like the people found her first, right? So the first time, so Whitney, my sister, was like, I saw this woman Sloan, she's like amazing, and I need you to see her. Meanwhile, when I spoke to my sister over Christmas 2020, because I'd asked Sloan some stuff about, like, when I was very concerned, which I'm not anymore. Anyway, Sloan gave me the correct advice, which I didn't want to believe. She was like, and last August, Sloan said this to me before I even spoke to my sister in Christmas of 2020. So, my sister's like, you've got to go see her, you've got to go see her. And like either gave me, I don't think she gave me the one that she got, she like booked another thing. So Sloan messaged me and she's like, and I was 3 or 4, maybe 5 months into this rehab center. I literally thought it was a rehab center until 3 years ago when I found out it was an unlicensed reparenting programming center. Whole different story, but I do have videos about that downstairs, down in the video, down there. I remember she texted me and I could feel how sweet she was. She's like, I can come to you, blah, blah, blah. And I lived in an apartment that even LAWDP, like you pay your water and power to, didn't have, like I called and I was like, I have my lease. And the guy's like, yeah, that apartment doesn't exist. And I was like, okay, but I have a lease here. And my apartment was literally like it was clearly an illegal unit that they didn't report to LAWDP. It was like a closet. And like when you walk, it was like all the other apartments were square and this was like a rectangle. And when you walk out, it was just what do you call it? A alley. Like not even like a car lot, like an alley. And I didn't have a car space or anything. I had to park on the street, but there was like a parking spot there. And it was on Hudson and Melrose. But like in 2012 or 11, which was very different than it is now. I was embarrassed for her to see my house. Like like I called them and they were like, yeah, that apartment don't exist, this guy. And I was like, okay, so do I not have to give you a check every month? Is that, I mean, I didn't say that verbatim, but I was like, gotcha. Okay. That was food money, like that, whatever, $60, whatever they would have charged for this little corner. So I didn't have to pay electricity. When I moved out, the woman's like, how come you never told me you were being billed for electricity? They're giving me an $800 bill. And I was like, I called them and they told me that the unit didn't exist. Anyway, I was embarrassed for her to come to my house. I was like, where are we gonna sit? Like, it's just one room. And like, you know, no, and I hadn't met her yet. So I was like, I'll come to your place, which was like, you know, I was on a budget from my sister of $400 a week, which never covered my gas. I borrowed from friends a lot, and I'm so grateful for all of them. She was yelling at me about Starbucks. Like I was doing like AA then, until my sponsor said I wasn't at the rehab, wasn't a addict. I need to focus more on my eating stuff. So then I started to go to eating disorder meetings. But basically when you're in like recovery sort of, you used to, they don't really have meetings anymore, but 10 years ago, you would go have coffee a lot. She was always yelling at me about coffee, about spending so much money on coffee. Anyway, so I said, no, I'm gonna go to you. And she told me her address, and I guess looked it up. I think there was Waze back then, W-A-Z or whatever. And I haven't had a car in a while, like 5-6 years. And it was like 21 miles or something. But I was like, okay, fine. And this is what I remembered, was driving, and so we made like the appointment, it was like for 2 o'clock or something. It was in the afternoon, or maybe 12 on a weekday. And I'm driving there. I just remember it was like, first of all, I'm still acclimating to everything about LA, and the dryness is something. It's like, it's not nothing. And so I remember I felt like I was like not able to breathe as well, and everybody knows this, you kind of get used to it, but the San Fernando Valley is very dry. So I got to her place, and she was this very cute community. It's not a place she lives now. This was 10 years ago. Like I say it 10 times, but I just want to make sure everybody knows, you fuck with my Sloan, you fuck with me. Don't do that. That would be a mistake. So anyway, she lived in this very cute, like, gated community, and that I was like, I guess I was like on the phone with her, and I was like, okay, this one is like, it's like one of those things, because they're like townhouse like things, and you have to like, you know, it's like a little village type thing. So she like guided me there, and I got there, and it was like I met my friend, and the first person since I had left Miami that felt anything like love. Maybe the first person in a really long time. And she opened the door, and she smiled, and she gave me the biggest hug. But the first thing she said before that, she said, all I see is love and heart. And I had just been like, so like, you know, like, people are testing my pee every week. I'm like, you know, doing this. Everything is like, you know, and another thing about this reparenting thing is like, all this stuff. The first question you ask is going to be a no, and like they take your computer and your cell phone away. I didn't have either of which for 2 months. I kept telling them I don't think I'm an addict, and I don't want to say to my brain something that's not true. And they said, okay, I guess you won't get your cell phone or your laptop. So fucking crazy, but it was also so fucking late by then, or way too late by then. So I walked into Sloan's house and she hugged me and we sat down at her table that she always talks about. And I remember watching her as she was talking to me and telling me things. Every single one of those things came true. And like, if you've ever seen Sloan talk about how, I guess, psychics and clairvoyants process the information they're being told, but through themselves. So like, there was a recent, like, I think Chester Benningfield one where she was like explaining something. She was like, that's how I would explain it. That's not necessarily the words he would use. So everything that she said and the words that she used, like, came true. It's so funny. Like, my ex-husband, she said I was gonna be with somebody that was funny, had funny hair, and she was like, I can't tell if he's European or from another country or culture. But my ex-husband, well, my late husband, you know, we never actually officially divorced, but we separated in the year my dad to 2015, and he passed in 2021. We were like in and out of contact, but he was doing some other stuff. And anyway, who is it? No one. She said he has funny hair and his shoes and something about his feet, and it's literally the way that Sloan would describe Patrick. He wanted to have, at the end, he was going for, was it Nicolas Cage hair? No, not Nicolas Cage hair. It was Catherine Zeta-Jones, Michael Douglas hair, and it was kind of working. He was so funny with his shoes. He probably had more pairs than I can even tell you. And we had a situation, and I thought of Sloan. We were on a boat in the British Virgin Islands, and it was nighttime. We were going from Necker back to Oil Nut Bay. And I love him. We were going from Necker back to Oil Nut Bay, and I just, out of honor, I was his wife, you know, but he went through about 9 iPhones a year. So this was a brand new one that I just synced everything for him and all that shit. And he wants to dance on the end of the boat in his also brand new, he lost stuff a lot, so he got brand new stuff a lot, but he was a billionaire, so that was easy. Converse. And I said, honey, it's wet here. Can you please just come sit with everyone else in the thing? We have like 3 or 4 minutes before we get to the other island. Oh, no, I want to dance, I want to party. And I'm looking at his shoes, and it's like the back, it's not like a huge yacht, you know? It's like you're just going from island to island, but I guess there was 15 of us, like a catamaran thing. And on the back is, it was just white and slippery and asking for like somebody to just step and fall off. And I said, baby, please, please. Sometimes when he would drink and I would be, I didn't like being a mom, you know, but I'm telling you, I saw what was going to happen. And he's like, you're being controlling. So instead of escalating it in public and stuff, there's other people, I just went and had a seat on the boat. I sat my butt down. It took me 60 seconds to, okay, set my butt down. It's like a water bus kind of, but everyone's like knows each other. Oh, Ashley, you here? Man overboard, man overboard. All the lights on the boat go, and then one guy jumps in and I see Patrick in the water. Ah, I told you you were gonna fall off the fucking boat. This is one of I don't even know how many stories that were like this. I love you, crazy motherfucker. But she also said, And one thing, just so we're all clear, she said, you will never, and in like the Sloan Bella way, you will never worry about money. Like, out of everything she said, she was so confident about that. And I was like, living in this box, and like, you know, my sister that had become this like famous person and told me that she wanted me to move here and promised me that she wanted to take care of me, and was now like yelling at me about spending too much money on a freaking latte. It was like reality was hitting in, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna have to figure this out. And what else did she, well, anyway, the whole experience was just so lovely. And I remember watching her while she was reading. There was, her aura just so like white, and I want to say yellow, but yellow like a yellow diamond. And I was watching her talk, and like her aura was glistening. And then we kept in touch, and we followed each other on Instagram, and I think like a couple times she was busy, and then I started traveling a lot with Patrick and stuff, and then she came to, she was busy, I was traveling, and like we finally found this Sunday where she could come to, I had opened up a yoga studio in West Hollywood, and she could come, and it was like after one of my classes. It was like 11, oh no, so my class was 11, so it was like 1 o'clock, and like she could come, and then I was teaching again at 4. So we like had this session at my studio in West Hollywood, and she's so cute. I fucking love her. I mean, like, she is like a soul sister, a friend. So we're sitting there, and we're like, we talked for probably 2 hours or so, and everybody, I locked the studio, you know, all the students had left, and she was asking me questions that I couldn't think for myself then, you know, like Patrick was being kind of interesting then, we'll use that as a euphemism, and what else was happening? Oh, I felt overwhelmed at the studio, and it was just all this stuff. She goes, it's so great that people can come here and see you, and the studio was beautiful. And then she's like, and I was like, it was a bit of a different session than our first one, you know? And also in between all of our conversations and like communications, because I was like, I think it was like the first person I was able to be like, okay, he drinks a lot, and I don't really know. And she knew the whole history with everything else. And like my sister's orchestrated institutionalization of me. But I was like he drinks too much, and like some other stuff, and da 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 da, but he's not a bad, like, I knew that I can tell her everything, she's not gonna judge me. She's like, I see. And he was like, also, you know, there's something that is unique, I guess, and I don't know if I'll experience it again. It won't matter. Like, there's one thing that I know about myself, so it doesn't matter if anyone else knows it. Like, money really isn't, besides experiences and helping other people, it's energy to me, and I've understood that for a long time now. But being with a billionaire, there's a certain, I think, innate comfort that I'm trying to, basically, Sloan is like me. She doesn't give a fuck. She wouldn't stay in a situation that's uncomfortable. But at this point, I had all these people coming to this studio with my name on it, and it was like, you know, this like secret that I was hiding, this like, you know, unbeknownst to me before, like, you know, 3 months before opening the studio, this like, you know, secret alcoholic or whatever, and like not normal alcoholic, like, with all due respect, it was situations I could never even begin. We're just gonna leave it that. But she goes, are you gonna stay? And I was like, but we moved into a house and a studio, and this is like, and she made everything all these like complications just drop kind of away. I want to keep going on and on about Sloan, but it's 20 minutes now. I love everybody that's come here from her, and I love you, Sloan. And I don't know, I always just felt like connected to Sloan. And then when she started doing her lives in 2020, maybe she started doing them before. I know that she's mentioned that Keith, and I think it's just beautiful that Keith has pushed her, or did push her to get her YouTube thing going. And I'm so proud that she's over like 110,000 subscribers now. And I want everyone else to subscribe to her, because but something about her lives is keeping us, there's a thread that grows. And she spoke, I think, in not Amy Winehouse, not Coldplay guy, when she spoke about like the spiritual vortex that we're sending Chris something, that we're sending love, like the spiritual vortex to the other side. I focus on that a lot in meditation lately, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off now because it's getting long. I love you, Sloan Bella. Mwah! I feel like anybody that's found her lives and found her, and so many people have, and that makes me so happy. We're all in alignment, like we're all on the same frequency. But then there's also like you know, now I think is the time that, I don't know, I'm like zero tolerance. Somebody does something stupid, says something stupid, I mean, like, treats me bad, and then there's no reason for it, and it's like, you're a grown-ass person. Right, Honda? Gone are the days we give a shit about those people. I love you guys so much. And yeah, we're gonna do a yoga session today. I wanted to do one first, but I also wanted to just give some huge nods to everyone that's here from Sloan, and obviously to Sloan. And I love you guys, and fingers crossed she's live tonight. I think it's like 3 or 4 LA time. Love you. Bye.